All right, ladies and gentlemen, we have the first-round draft pick of the Pittsburgh Steelers, 10th overall, out of Michigan, young Devin Bush. What's up, Devin, man? How are you doing today, man?
I'm good. How you doing?
I'm doing well, man. So, obviously, it's been a crazy season for you, man. So just talk about how have you adjusted to your first season in the NFL?
Honestly, it's a lot of things that come fast in the first year based off my experience. And honestly, you just kind of adjust as things go. You know, you make mistakes or you see different ways to do things, whether that's on and off the field, and you kind of just make adjustments as you go and figure out, what works for you and what doesn't.
Absolutely. And I mean, I know you definitely faced some challenges through that process. So, man, what's been the most challenging to you thus far?
The most challenging, I think, so far was kind of getting in the rhythm of being a professional. You got a lot more time on your hands. Definitely got a lot more money on your hands too.
Talk about it.
I think balancing those two and being able to, stay humble and focus on your craft, at this point, I feel like a lot of people could be like, hey, you made it, you did this, you know what I'm saying? But it's always, a longer journey to something, especially something like this.
I like that. And I'm glad you talked about the humility element, man, because I know me being an older guy, a guy who's been in that locker room, being able to see you, man, you are super humble, man. And it's something that's rare. A lot of guys who have had success in college and come in as a high draft pick, they don't always have that same type of humility. But you're a guy who definitely does that, man. So just wanted to let you know, man, keep doing that, baby. Keep it up.
And we could definitely see Deke here, Devin, with that humility. You've been getting better week in and week out on the field as well as the defense. What do you attribute that the most?
I think it goes into the time I put, off the field, with your studying and making sure I know what I'm doing at all times, as well as others around me, understanding the game plan more. Kind of helps me, slow down the game in a sense.
And now we talked about what challenges you the most, right? But what have you enjoyed the most throughout this whole process thus far?
Honestly, the biggest enjoyment I get in this process is being with other talented guys. It makes you appreciate football that much more because every guy in here is special at something. And, everybody here is not trying to be the superstar. Everybody has a job to do and everybody does their job, to their best abilities. And I think it's special to see a bunch of guys play one game from different areas and different eras and all come in together as one team and play the game that we love to play.
Now, Devin, obviously you went to Michigan.
Tell them go blue.
And Harbaugh is kind of like this mythic figure as a coach, a lot of stories about him. But then there's also been a lot of things that go around with the football team outside of him, whether it's like Michael Jordan and Jordan Brand sponsoring the team or like having Tom Brady come and give speeches, other like high-profile guys. Is there a favorite moment that you had when you were playing college ball there? Something that sticks out to you?
My favorite moment is when we found out we were taking that trip to Rome my sophomore year. I think that was probably one of the best moments.
What
playing for Coach Harbaugh.
Yeah, what happened out there? Would you learn anything specific?
We pretty much did everything you could think of. We went to operas, we went to the Coliseum, we went to different restaurants, we went to the Vatican, we went a whole bunch of places, we did a whole little tour. So, the whole just being there was so special. You got to see a different way of living and different monumental things about the city and the history of the city. So I think that was probably the biggest thing I remember, or one of the best memories.
Oh yeah, that's dope.
When I remember when we had that dinner the other night, in terms of with Coach Simon and all the younger players, you were kind of telling that story about how it's a cultural experience. And for a lot of guys, they don't get that opportunity, but being a part of that program, it allowed you to have that. And you were talking about how you were very appreciative of it. But you told me a story about when you were choosing to go to Michigan. So, man, just share that so the people could know what went into that process for you, man.
Yeah, shoot. It's, you know how long this day is. Basically, like, I had a top 5, and I was coming out early, and I knew I was leaving in December, so I had to make a decision really fast. It's kind of creeping up really fast, and all the coaches that were recruiting me, including Michigan, the defensive coordinator, Coach Durkin, was recruiting me there, and you know, a lot of those other competing schools had coaches left or defensive coordinators left, and Michigan defensive coordinator left. So I was kind of stuck with no coaching staff with all my top 5, and you know, I had like a last minute visit, you know, to go to Michigan, and basically I didn't want to go. You know, I didn't want to take that trip. I wanted to stay home and you know just enjoy my weekend. And the person I really wanted to go was my dad. So, you know, he kind of walked in my room and he begged me. He's like, hey, look, you can go to Michigan this weekend. You know, they want you to come for a visit. I'm like, you know, I don't know anything, you know, about Michigan right now. You know, I like the coach there. I don't know anything about it. You know, and I'm nowhere in hell I'm leaving to go somewhere where it's cold. You know? So he was like, you know, please do it for me. I always wanted to see Michigan. You know, it's just for me. The only way I can go is you come with. So I'm like, you know, I'll come. So I end up going, and ever since then, I fell in love with the place. That's pretty much how that went.
Hey, man.
I definitely didn't want to go. I was so close to like, nah, I'm not going.
Hey, man, sometimes, you know, Pop's got that influence, man.
Yeah, for real. I mean, it was literally for him. Shoot.
Yeah, that's awesome, man. And now, just talking about even influencing and stuff like that, you've been surrounded by some awesome veterans in Ryan Shazier, Vince Williams, and Mark Barron. So let's talk about how those veterans have impacted you throughout the season so far.
Yeah, they always there. That's one thing I can't say. Those guys are always there. I know those guys are in my corner, and they want nothing but the best for me. And they want me to learn from any mistake that they made or anything they think I should know. And they always feed me information, you know, whether that's about football or just about life in the NFL and being an NFL player. So I'm very grateful to have, you know, those three, you know, to pick off their brain and see different ways of thinking and, you know, how to handle different things and situations. So those guys are constantly in my head.
I like that, man.
Now, Devin, you've been in Pittsburgh for a little bit now, ever since you got drafted. Is there anything about Pittsburgh that has surprised you, whether it's like a pet peeve or some type of quirk that you have? I think that we could call you.
My biggest pet peeve, it was so much of a pet peeve I had to cut you off. My biggest pet peeve about Pittsburgh is people stare too much.
What?
Stop staring at Devin, man.
People's not like. People just stare like they don't, even if I am who I am, but like people are like, yeah, like people stare here. You know, like,
so you're saying care. Even if you weren't the linebacker for the Steelers, they'd be staring.
Exactly. They're like if they look at you, they're gonna stare at you. I hate because where I'm from, if you staring at somebody, it's about pressure. You know, it's about, you want to do something. You know, so I'm like, why are you staring at me? That's my biggest pet peeve.
Wait, do you agree with that, Moats?
I don't know. I chalked it up to being a football player. Everybody stares at me as well.
They just stare like really hard though.
Hey, stop staring at people, Deke. Stop staring at people. Golly.
Damn.
Now, your father was a first-round draft pick as well. So just talk about what it meant to you to join that fraternity, being a first-round pick, but also how your father helped you throughout that draft process and what it meant to him as well, man.
Yeah, being the son of a first-round pick is, I think it's really challenging. You you constantly going to get compared to him, no matter what stage you are in your career. I was a 8-year-old football player getting compared to my dad.
Man.
So I mean, that was really challenging. Just throughout the whole process, from college to the pros, he kind of just spoke things into existence for me. I kind of didn't understand what he was talking about at a younger age, and everything's starting to show itself, that he was talking about, and I kind of understand where he was coming from. So I mean, he's helped me. He's been my right hand since the beginning.
Man, that's awesome.
So I mean, that's also another veteran. I got in my corner, so that's pretty cool. He definitely is a big reason. I am who I am today.
Man, that's awesome. And then on top of that, your defensive coordinator was his coach when he was in the NFL as well, man, and Keith Butler. So that's just crazy in itself thinking about that, man.
Yeah, exactly. Like, it's full circle.
Absolutely, man.
Hey, Devin, I got a question about the hair. So you had the full dreads going at Michigan, and then you decided to get it cut and then just keep the mullet look with it. What went into that decision?
It's another funny story. So my mom called me one day. I guess I did an interview or something. And me, I don't like that. I'm a guy like, I'm not gonna do much. If I like something, I like it. I'm not gonna change for anybody or do something different. So I'm not gonna get my hair done. That's how I like my hair. I like it how I like it.
Yeah.
So I guess my hair wasn't done and whatever. So she called me and was like, "Hey, you look so raggedy on camera. Your hair never done, and you look like you need to do something with your hair, get it done." I'm like, "All right, yeah, okay, whatever." So I'm like, all right. I'm like, yeah, she kind of right a little bit. I do kind of look a little rough. So I was like, I had my hair for like 10 years. So I mean, I already know what it is, and I'm like, you know what, let's switch it up. So I'm like, I'm just gonna cut it and grow my hair out just to do it. So I ended up going to the barber, and he was cutting my hair. I'm like, yeah, I'm about to just cut it off. So he started cutting my hair from like the front. And as he's cutting it, he's kind of like, lining me up, getting me right. And I look to the side, and I'm like, dang, that look pretty cool. That look pretty cool. So I'm like, hey, you ever seen somebody with this on their head before? And he was like, nah, this is new. I never seen nobody like that. So I'm like, you know what, just leave it. I'm putting the ponytail and I'm just going to pay you for the whatever you did to the front. And that's what happened. So that's how that came about.
I like it.
That's dope as hell.
Now, I saw earlier today, you posted about you have a celebrity bowling event coming up, man, with James Washington. So talk about that a little bit, man.
Yeah, it's we doing an event for the little bowling alley. Just to raise a little awareness for animals and stuff like that. But pretty much it's just something to come out and have fun, man, and just have good vibes, bro. Just go out, bowl, eat some food, laugh a little, just get an experience, to just be out there and be fun, have fun.
I like
whoever
that.
comes.
I like that. Early in your career, man, already getting in the community, giving back.
What's your best score? You any good?
See, I seen that Shay said I'm not good, but I beat them boys last time you went to the bowling alley. So, but nah, I'm all right.
Like 130, 140?
About there.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, that's decent.
About there. I'll hit a 150 on a good. Like if I'm really focused. Yeah, if I throw a gutter ball though, I'm not like my head be going though.
Oh man. All right, so the last question we always ask any of our guests, man, regardless if you played in in the league 15 years or only one league, or only 1 year. Talk about your welcome to the NFL moment, man.
Welcome to the NFL moment. Dang, what was my welcome to the NFL? Okay, this is my welcome to. We was at camp, and we were doing 7-shot, and Big Ben was literally throwing routes just on me and just completing them. So he threw like a out to Vance, caught it, threw a fade, caught it, threw an under route, caught it. So I'm like, damn, like I really suck. Like, am I really this bad? Like, he's doing at me 3 times. So I think that was my welcome to the NFL moment. Like, I got scored on 3 times, and we just changed periods, and nobody didn't say nothing to me. So I was like, damn, I suck.
Hey, I will say this. Ben has gotten us all. He takes turns getting us linebackers, man. So major respect to you, though, man.
For real.
But, man, definitely appreciate you taking time coming on the podcast with us, man. Like I said, keep killing it on the field and keep doing your thing in the community, man. It definitely means a lot to everybody in the city, man. So we appreciate you.
Absolutely. Appreciate it.
Thank you for having me. Appreciate y'all.
No doubt, man.
No problem, man. Peace.